Hi guys, welcome to another video. So I have a gorgeous pink and purple set to show you. So I've already prepped my nails, done all my cuticle work, put on my clear tips, and I'm now going in and using CJP's acid primer on all the nails. So we're starting the thumbnail, and I'm sure I came in with Moira's, and I'm sure it's called Sujet. I went on a bit of a shopping spree and bought 12 of their colours. They had a sale on. I'm not sure if it's still on, but if you pop over to the website Moira UK, you'll be able to find out whether it's still on or not. So I got 12 new colours, and in amongst them was this gorgeous, gorgeous shimmery lilac colour. Obviously this is my first time using Moira, so I'm not 100% with the ratio yet. You do use it more like paint. So I basically put a kind of medium sized bead on, and it's so pigmented that it covers pretty much, well, you can see there, covers pretty much all of the nail. So just a thin layer of that. It's such a gorgeous colour as well. The video really doesn't capture how pretty it is, and it's really shimmery. So just making sure I've got some good coverage over the nail. Working quite wet as well, but as you can see it goes on lovely. Really easy to work with actually. I was quite impressed with this, so I can't wait to use the rest of my colours as well. And then I came in with a really small bead of crystal glass dipped into a mix of glitter that I made myself, and it's got hollow purple in it, it's got hollow pink, a bit of blue, and it's all ultra fine. So a really small bead of crystal glass, you really don't need a lot, and just dip it in and kind of move it about in a kind of S shape if you like, until you're happy with that. And this glitter that I'm coming in with is a mix from Smiley's, the lovely Sarah Nugent, who has her eBay store, and she also has an online store now as well. I love her glitters. She has so many different cuts, so many different shapes. This one's called Mystique, and I've had it for a long time, so I'm not sure if you can still get it or not, but it's a beautiful mix of hot pink, blue, kind of lilacs, some small bits in it, and then some bigger kind of circle discs. It's so pretty. So yeah, just a really small bead of crystal glass, again coming in and putting that across the glitter. So again coming in with Moira, the Sujet on this nail, just taking it down about halfway, because I wanted to do a crystal tip with this one. So bringing it down, just blending the bottom of that bead down rather than coming from the top. Making sure that it was all tucked in at the cuticle at the top, nice and neat, and just blending that kind of halfway down. And then coming in again with a small bead of crystal glass, and dipped into that Mystique glitter. Again, just placing it over that blend line, making sure it covered that so that it was really seamless, and just keep applying really tiny bits until you're kind of happy with where it's all placed. Just kind of blending up slightly and blending down slightly, just making sure obviously that you leave enough to have the crystal tip on the bottom. And then this nail, I'm coming in with CJP Amor, and making a extended nail bed. So I place my first bead on, blend it back up so that there's no shadows, and that it's nice and flat against that nail plate, and then just making my smile line. So the more work you can do with your brush, the less you're going to have to do later on. So if you can get this more or less how you want it, it just makes it easier later on. And Amor's really easy to work with. I love it when I'm doing nail beds with this. It's just a really, really pretty pink, and it went really well with this set, tied in really nicely. So just perfecting that smile line with my brush, and then I come in with the cuticle bead, placing it at the cuticle, making sure it's tucked in nice at the back, and then blending it back down to meet that other bead. Again, just making sure you tidy it up with your brush as you're going along. And if you need to add a little extra bead or so, you can do. I think I missed a bit on the left hand side at the back, so I just went in with another bead and tidied that up a bit. Make sure you're building your wall with this. You want to make sure your apex is in place, your wall's nice and high, because when you put your colour on at the bottom, you need something to butt that colour up to. And obviously Amor is a strength powder, so don't need to cap that either. So make sure you build your apex with that. So I'm just tidying that up at the back, making sure that's all filled in. And I've got a nice wall there as well. So this nail I am doing a marble. So I'm coming in with CJP Amor, the Moira Sujette, and a bead of crystal glass. Getting my brush into a really, really nice point and then dragging through them all. These three colours marbled so nicely. The Moira is so pigmented, it just popped through those colours. It was really, really pretty. So yeah, just again coming in with the three colours and just getting your brush into a really, really nice point and just dragging through those colours. And just continue to do that until you're happy with where everything's placed, and then you need to leave that to let it set. As I come up to the cuticle, I use slightly smaller beads so that it doesn't run into the cuticle and flood the cuticle. Just take your time. It's a process that took me a little bit to get used to. Everybody marbles different ways. This is just how I do it. I'm not saying that that's the right way to do it, but this is how I do it, and I find that this is the easiest way for me to do it and gets the best results. I have tried the other way and I can't do it. So everybody's different, just you do what works for you. But this is how I do it. So again, just making sure that that's got a good coverage on it. And making sure that if there's any bits missed that you can go back in and fill that with a tiny little bead of whatever colour you want. So I'm coming in with that mixed glitter that I mixed myself, and I'm putting really, really small trails of it, just following the lines that the marble's made, and just putting a really small trail of it just to give it that bit something extra so that the marble pops. And then the last one, the pinky nail, is a really small bead of Amor. Place it at the cuticle, tuck it in at the back, and bring it down in sort of a diagonal motion, so down to the right hand side. Not covering the whole tip again because I want this to be a crystal tip as well. So just bringing it down to the right hand side and fading that out. I didn't do the Amor bead thicker because I was going to cap it. I'm going to add glitter, so I was going to cap the whole thing. So I didn't use Amor to build my apex. I'll come back in and I'll build that with crystal glass. So again, coming in with that Mystique glitter from Smiley's, small bead of crystal glass and dip it into the glitter and then place it on the nail. The smaller the bead, the better. It just means you can add without creating loads of bulk. It's just placing that at that blend line and diagonally bringing it down to the tip and then up a little bit on the other side as well. And it's really, really pretty. I do love this glitter, it's lovely. So you can just keep adding until you're happy with the look that you're after. So now I come back to the middle nail, just check that that's set, and then go in with my file. This is a 100-180, and just file that smile line until it's really nice and crisp. Angle your file so that you're not filing down onto the tip, you're filing into the acrylic. You don't want to create any heat or any friction. Remember, that's still your client's natural nail under there, so just be very, very careful. So once that's all filed, you're then going to come in with a small bead of the Sujette from Moira and just place that on at the tip and move it all the way back around. Make sure you get right into those wings. You really don't need a lot. Moira comes in really small pots compared to other brands of coloured acrylic that I've bought, but because it's so pigmented, you really don't use a lot at all, so a little bit goes a really long way. So it is totally worth it. Totally worth it. Like I say, placing that on, blending it right up into the wings, making sure you've got good coverage all the way around. Butt it right up against that wall so that there's no shadowing when you come to file that later. Nothing worse, you've done all that work and then when you file it later, there's a big shadow and you've missed a bit and there's a gap. So make sure that your wall's high enough in the first place so that you can butt that colour right the way up. And then once you've done that, I'm coming in with a tiny bead of crystal glass dipped into that mix that I made, and just trail that from the wing round to the middle, just at the wall, so that I can blend it down so you still see that colour underneath, but you get like a glitter fade. And just do the same on this side. And then I realised after I had put that on that there was a lovely chunk of something. I think it was a bit of glitter, but it was a big chunk of silver from somewhere that must have been in that dish when I mixed the glitter, and I got it stuck right in the middle. So this is me trying to flick it off and put some glitter back where it's supposed to go. There we are. So just add again until you're happy with it. Make sure it's right up into the wings. So I'm not going to show you the whole lot of capping, because once you cap one you kind of get the gist when you're capping the rest. So bead the crystal glass on at the cuticle, make sure it's tucked right in, bring it down one side, bring it down the other, and then walk that bead down the nail. Making sure that you cover all that glitter, that it's all nice and encapsulated, that there's nothing still shiny. If any glitter's still shiny, it's not capped, so you need to go back in and cap it again. So just make sure that you check your nail from all angles. You'll see me holding the nail up several times, checking it from both sides, making sure that there's no divots or slopes in the nail, and if you need to add any extra, you can add extra. Make sure that you've got your structure there. So I've filed and buffed as well, and I'm now onto top coat, and I used CJP's Tack Free Top Gloss because it is just amazing. With the crystal tips, I go underneath just on that clear part, and I just think it just brings the clarity up even more, so you can like totally see through it. It's amazing. Oh, look at that marble, it's lovely. Yep, so top coat, make sure you're capping the ends, and then it goes into the lamp for 60 seconds, and when it comes out I just give it 60 seconds just to cool down. When this top gloss comes out, it kind of feels a bit rubbery if you touch it before the 60 seconds. It kind of can feel a bit sticky, so I always leave it 60 seconds. I get my client not to touch anything, I don't touch it, and I just literally leave it to cool right down, and then pop some cuticle oil on when I'm done. And that shine literally lasts the whole entire time that they've got their nails on. They come back and it's still as shiny as the day they got it done, because it's just awesome. So yep, that glitter's so pretty, so pretty. And here they are. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye!